So in an ideal world for me would be to try and make it mandatory for organisations to hire from all ethnicities, like not just because one person, like I don't mean if the traveller comes in they're less qualified than the other person. I mean if they're both qualified for the job, it makes no sense not to hire the traveller just because they're a traveller. And they expect travellers then to be these pillars of the community when they're not allowed to be part of the community. They want them to go out into the world, become doctors and solicitors, and I know travellers that are doctors, solicitors, even a judge, and they can't say who they are. It's really, really sad that they have to oppress that part of themselves in order to get an education. My eldest son had to oppress that part of himself, and he felt like he did have to oppress a part of himself going to school in order to get an education. And still when he got the education and he got out, nobody wanted to hire him because of his ethnicity. So to me, social inclusion would mean creating work for travellers and accepting travellers. We are the original, like everyone at one stage, we were all nomadic, we all came from the same kind of place. We are the original Irish. I will prove this. And I would like, me personally, from my project of my life, will be to prove that and to have travellers in our history books where we rightfully belong, and to put a sense of pride in the community, because we're lacking, and for other people to acknowledge that we're not a shameful, failed people from the famine. We are an amazing community, but nobody wants to get to know us because of fear. Because we stick together, we're in camps and sites, and even in housing estates we're excluded. So we're kind of stick together because we're all very, very comfortable together. But my mother has worked 45 years on including settled people and travellers to work together, and we're going to pass the Banton, so we'll promote that later. And I've been a human rights traveller activist since my first experience was when I was 5 years old. So other children got to go out and play football and do sleepovers, and I wasn't invited to a sleepover because I was a traveller. Not doing a pity party in here or anything, but mine was doing human rights marches or creating banners and posters and being an activist since 5 years old. So I would like my life's work to be create equal opportunity in the workforce.
Thank you. I need to say, this chat to somebody this morning at the university. She said something very similar. Maybe she's from down there herself. She was saying she hopes for that time when people can feel that they can be open about who they are.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter. You know, you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. You should be recognised in a beautiful way. You know, she was saying very similar stuff.
And that's why most travellers go to where they're most celebrated, like Exchange House, Pavia Point, traveller organisations, because they're accepted. Not only they're accepted, they're of value. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So we feel our worth. And I don't want it to be where I'm a family access worker like me can only get work through a travel organisation. I'd like to do access in all children. Just because I'm a traveller, I make. And they don't say that to you, but we know when you don't get hired after 50 interviews. And that's just the way it is. But I want that to change. But I'm not heard because I'm not at that table, as you said earlier. And even if I was, would I be heard? I doubt the government sit at a table like this and discuss travellers. I really doubt it. I don't think they're being dismissive of us. I don't think they hate us. I just don't think we hurt them. I don't think we're important to them. Equal opportunity for all humans, not just travellers, not just women and men. And like, I always hear about this, men and women, and I am a feminist in my own community, but a feminist in where men and women are equal. Not, okay, men have taken the whole country, the world over for so long, and now women have to be on top and we have to be this big masculine thing. No, where women are and men are equal, but travellers are equal, and every other ethnicity is all equal. We're all here in this country together, and we should be all entitled to the same education. And if a poor child or a traveller child or an immigrant child goes to a school and they can't afford to, maybe they don't have access to a credit card, so like in school you have to pay for the card for the lunch in secondary school. Some children, I know traveller children, have to sit out through lunch because their parents don't have a debit card or a credit card or a lunch. And just for the schools first to include, or laptops. You go to a school and you need a laptop for some projects and you don't have access. You might not have internet at home.
What sites don't you?
Do you know what I mean? Like they're on another level of not realising what poverty really is. They think poverty, some people think poverty is, oh, I actually can't go out on a Saturday night until I get paid next week or the week after from work. That's not what poverty is. Poverty is me looking at my account wondering, can I afford diesel to go to work? That's what poverty is. Poverty is a child sitting through lunch because he can't afford to pay the €5, and these lunches are expensive now in secondary school. They were free in primary. Like, that's what poverty is. Poverty is not being allowed to join the football because it's €90 for a kit. So start while children are young and create a good foundation and let them grow up and feel what it is to be equal and have equal opportunity. That's how I think change is from when we're small and we see. Because when I was small, I was very discriminated. I was isolated in school. But I never felt wrong. I always felt sorry for the children that weren't travellers because my mother empowered me so much to love what's in here and to look out into the world and feel sorry for what they don't have that I have in me. And so she was very empowering in that way, but not every parent has that. They might have come from addiction, or they might have been oppressed in their own community, because we have oppression in the traveller community, especially with women. I'm just saying equal rights for all people, especially from the bottom, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. So then when they grow up, they've had a chance to go to the football pitch. They've had a chance and were included to be able to go to Trinity and to have the confidence to go there. I know travellers that are so intelligent, and they don't have the confidence to go to Trinity because they perceive it as this posh place where they would only be even more oppressed in there. And so they could have the ability to go on and be the Minister of Health or whatever, but they can't get the education because even if they had the intelligence, they don't have the bravery and they haven't had that soil fed for them. So I think it starts when children are small, and it needs to start now because we have a lot of new people in the country. So if every child was equal, can you imagine the world we would have in 30, 40 years?